Hello. How is everyone? A little late. I was hoping to be started by 3.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it.
What's up, Alex? What's up, Mazzaro?
Just like that. We'll be right back. More Price is Right. Don't go away.
It is, I suppose it's early. I suppose it's early in comparison to most of baking. Big stretch. Well, I put out that big castmate update. Yeah, we're doing some castmate stuff today. And I think Askel wanted to show something he was working on. So I was trying really hard to be online at a reasonable time for him. Because he's in France. It's like almost 9 p.m. for him, so. Yeah, but we got some... What's up, Egos? How are you? We got some mysterious bugs to sort through. Okay, we have, well, Atlas showed us yesterday. Let me move to this button. That if you have Windows on light mode, it's not using the theme correctly. Which is hilarious and also a little sad. Don't know how that happened. Just like for the colloquy. Aw, thanks, dude. I already fixed this one, but I wanted to call it out because it was funny. Because I spent all that time working on the UI upgrade and totally whiffed the theming. But it's okay, it's fixed now. I got it forced into dark mode. I can show you what it... Let's see, is this... Yeah, that's the production one. We want the non-production one. Let me show you what it looks like. Where'd it go? Hello? Oh, we broke it. We broke it. We broke it. Oh, there we go. If I remove this. Oh, it's hideous. You can't see anything. Yep. So we fixed that. Very funny. But a more serious bug is poor fables. Fables op. This guy. His ad schedule triggers were working for one stream, and then they just stopped. So we gotta figure out what the hell happened to poor Fable's ad triggers. And originally, what I thought was happening, was my guess was his system clock was slightly ahead They're changing something? I mean, okay, so they're shutting down PubSub. Um, but I had mostly moved off of PubSub, and with the big fix update, I had removed the last use of PubSub. So I think I'm good for PubSub. I am bummed. What's up, Callum? I am bummed that in PubSub they would give you the number of viewers. You weren't. It was part of the Twitch API. Hang on. Let's see. There it is. PubSub. PubSub is deprecated and scheduled to be decommissioned on April 14th. But you'd get events through the PubSub, like, oh, someone used some bits, someone used channel points, that type of thing. They've now moved over. I'm not zoomed in. I'm sorry. Let me go back. Yeah, it's good to see you, Callum. We're going. We got some weird bugs to look into today. So the PubSub was served over a WebSocket. So you can see it was like this WebSocket address here. They've switched to a new protocol that they call the event sub. And the event sub is transport agnostic. In a way, you can get event sub notifications delivered over webhook, WebSocket, or this like enterprise WebSocket system called conduits, where like if you have multiple instance servers and you want to ingest a shitload of messages from Twitch, you use conduits. Castmate uses the WebSocket transport, but you can also have them delivered under webhooks. And there's like you can register you create subscriptions to these events. So you have to do like a normal API post request that's like, hey, I care about this particular event information, please. And then it will start delivering you them over over the transport that you've asked for. So you can ask for webhooks. And that's good. Oh, in general, I love Event Sub. It's pretty great. It's missing a few things, I would argue. But so was PubSub. So it's definitely an excellent step in the correct direction. Because you can like the same stuff gets delivered, no matter how you're receiving the events. It's pretty great. Let's see. Where's the subscription types? There we go. So like these are all of the alerts that you can receive. Like channel point rewards have changed, polls, predictions, moderation stuff. Hype trains, shield mode. You can even respond to chat over event sub. Yeah, I mean, I would totally be using webhooks if I had a server doing it, but I use like Castmate's a desktop app that responds directly to Twitch, right? Like I don't have a server that sits in between Twitch and like those events. So that's why like the WebSocket transport is super great for me. So event sub is awesome. PubSub was incomplete, right? Like you could get some events over the IRC chat connection, some events over PubSub. Um, it was kind of a mess. So definitely a huge step forward. The only thing is the PubSub connection would also serve you some undocumented information uh, that you weren't really supposed to use, but they're sending it to me. So they would send me undocumented the number of viewers that were currently watching the stream. So I used to have in the dashboard, it would say like the number of viewers you had right there. I can't get that information anymore because it's not on Event Sub, which is fine. Um, it would just be nice if that was in Event Sub. It's the only bit that I was actually still using the pub sub for, even though I wasn't really supposed to be using it for that. But I mean, I do have a backend for Spellcast. Let's see if I can pull this out. This is the doc inside of OBS that shows your like stats over. And this is just a web page. So if I copy the current address and pop it over here, it's just like a web page that Twitch serves. And internally, if we go in here and pop it open our network tab and then hit reload, we can see that it is still using the pub sub. So they're deprecating the pub sub for everyone else, but are still relying on the pub sub for their own webpage. I suspect they will eventually phase it out for their own webpage. But for now, they're using it. What am I doing today? Well, so Fables, this guy, is trying to use our castmates ad scheduling triggers. Like I have the thing that warns that says, hey, there's an ad coming in a minute. Hey, there's an ad coming in 10 seconds. And then has stuff that's like, the ads have started and welcome back from the ads, like that type of thing. These two, the ad start and ad ended, are working for him, but ad schedule is not working for him. And I haven't figured out why. I thought I figured it out and patched it in 5.4. My suspicion was that his system clock was a little over a second ahead of the Twitch server clock. And what happens inside of Castmate's code, let me zoom because I haven't streamed in a while and zoomed out, is, yep, if I go here and then here, if I go in here, there's this function called schedule ad triggers, and every time profiles change, it populates this array with an advance, which is how far ahead of the ad you want the thing to happen, and an optional timeout. And the schedule ad triggers will come in here and say, oh, do we have a next ad timer? Do we? Okay, good. Let's go through our ad triggers and schedule a function based on the ad timer ahead of the timer. And then that will cause the trigger to happen. But somehow this isn't happening. And what I have, because one of the things missing from Event Sub is it doesn't tell you when you use a snooze. So if you have an ad coming, you can snooze it for 5 minutes so that, like, if you're in the middle of something important, the ad won't, like, cut you off. and you only get 3 of those snoozes, and then they like regenerate. There's like a cooldown, so like you get 3, and then you use one, and it'll regenerate, and then you can use it again. But it doesn't have an event sub event for when you use a snooze. So if I've scheduled all of my ad triggers to run based on the next ad timer, and you use a snooze, like on the website or something, on like the Twitch dashboard, it needs to know about that snooze so that it adjusts the triggers. So I have, and because I can't get an event when you use the snooze, I have what is called the validation query. And whenever it schedules the triggers, it also schedules a requery of the schedule from the Twitch servers. It used to be 1 second, but in testing things, I've bumped it up to 5. So 5 seconds before that trigger is supposed to run, it asks the server again, hey, what is the ad schedule? And if they've used a snooze, it should have moved, right? Like the next ad timer should be different. So I had thought that because I was doing it 1 second early, and I suspected the Fable's system clock was 1 second ahead. So what was happening is what I thought was happening was that it was 1 second before the ad was supposed to start. It ran a query. The ad schedule had updated, and then it had moved forward, and then there would be it wouldn't have a 1 second thing anymore, and then it would delete the schedule, and then no schedules would run. That is not what is happening, because it still doesn't work after accounting for making sure that when I query the schedule, I can know whether or not it's a validation query, and then also say, oh, are we either not a validation or our snoozes have changed, right? If our snoozes have changed, we can reschedule them, and then that would solve the problem, if that was truly the problem. But it's not the problem, so something else is going on. So step 1 is I wanted to add a bunch of logging so that I can send a test build to Fables for his next stream, and then it will log absolutely everything out about the ad schedule. Whenever it does an ad schedule query, whenever it tries to trigger an ad, whenever it does anything like that, it should be printing things out to the log so that we can have a full picture of what's going on, because I still don't really know why it failed. So what's up, Roblet? So I need to change this because it doesn't show the seconds. Wait, does it? 3:47:51. Yes, okay. Yeah, great to see you. I'm sorry my normal Monday stream time is inexcessive and also not software. Inaccessible? Not inexcessive. One of those words, you know. Words are hard. So, starting... What's also interesting is we didn't get a on-stream online event. Yay! So this event sub on stream online, this this isn't working. So why, pray tell, are we not getting an on stream online? Are we missing a... Are we missing a permission? Sent when a broadcaster... No authorization required. That's an interesting one. So I'm not missing a permission. That's for sure. The user for which to get notifications that their shit goes live for. Wait a second. Yeah, it probably was castmate. It's a little buggy bastard right now. That also worries me, but that's a story for another time. On channel auth. Registering online handlers. Oh, there it is. All right. Would I like a Docker Compose for castmate? I'm not sure. I'm not sure the app needs one. But to the backend question that we had talked about, one of the things I want to build this year is a handler for some stuff that can't be done over WebSockets. So one of those things was we worked on the hackathon to build dashboards, which I have disabled. But you need to, and the dashboards communicate back to the main castmate application, potentially over WebRTC. So you can send those dashboards to someone you're doing a stream together session with, or one of your mods, or something like that. So you can give power to those people. But WebRTC needs something to like initiate the connection, right? Um, so And then I also want to be able to serve those dashboards out of the actual Castmate app, so you could dock them in OBS, have them open in your browser, etc., etc. So it needs a backend, and so I want to do two things. If I have a backend, and if I'm supplying a WebRTC um, negotiation and potentially bounce server, because WebRTC can fail to create a peer-to-peer connection, particularly if you're using a cell phone, right? Because it might not be able to NAT pierce. Yeah, so I have a a turn and a stun and a turn or whatever it's called, but those cost money, right? So my thought was create a subscription that, you know, a non-techie person could be like, I don't care, I just want to be able to use the mobile app to connect, right? But offer a Docker, you know, thing so that if you wanted to self-host those things, you could just deploy the Docker container to your NAS and then you wouldn't have to pay me. But if you're like, you know, not a techie person, then you could just pay me the whatever, $5-10 a month it is, to essentially the Nabukasa model of things, right? They're the home assistant people. Um, you can just pay them and then they will do the thing, or you can load that thing up on a computer and away you go. There's even a UPS. um okay, so we can see some of the logging that I added. Where was the schedule? Scheduling ad trigger. Starting and scheduling. 412. Is it for oh no, that's the time that it schedules. We get an ad schedule. Okay, 416, that's 49. That's the one that it was. Yeah, we looked at that. It does some really cool stuff. Nope, there went the ad. Failed to schedule ad trigger. No, so we get it. Wait, what? We got the new time. All right, we got problems. We got problems up in here. Yeah, the stun is actually, like, Google provides a free stun. But stun only works if you can establish the peer-to-peer connection. Unfortunately, every single browser has an absolute terrible implementation of NAT transversal. So it will oftentimes fail in situations it shouldn't fail, and fall back to turn, which you need a server to like bounce the messages back. And Google doesn't give a free turn server. That's the expensive one. So my plan was have my little subscription that gives you access to a stun and turn, self-host, or if you don't have any of that in, it just falls back to using the Google stun, and if you can't connect, you just can't connect, right? So like, if you and your mod are always connecting from machines that will correctly peer-to-peer, right? Like, then who cares, right? But if you're an IRL person and you need to connect on a dashboard from your phone off of Wi-Fi and on your mobile network, you're probably going to fail the NAT transversal. And I looked up the cost of deploying my own turn server, right? And it was cheaper to use a turn service. So I'm currently on a free tier that gives me just a little bit for turn data. So, we'll see what happens. Or it depends, because like, one of the things we added to the dashboard was the ability to send sounds over the WebRTC connection. So you can play sounds out of the dashboard. And that's like media. And so once you start adding media into the bandwidth, you start causing problems. If I was just sending JSON payloads, I probably wouldn't have to worry. It's not peer-to-peer after the handshake if it can't do the stun connection. So like, yeah, so the way WebRTC works, you have stun and turn. It goes to the stun server and it says, hey, you do some stun signaling, right? So you say, you have your backend say, this person's trying to connect to you, and you're trying to connect to them. Here's some exchange information. They go out to the stun server. The stun server goes, all right, let's find a port for you people to talk on. And then it does the NAT punching, right? There's a protocol for NAT punch. And if you're not on a crazy network address translation system, like if you're just on a home router, you should succeed, right? Where the NAT punch will work and you'll establish your peer-to-peer connection. Now, there's bugs in the browser that doesn't always work right. But if you're on a phone, you're essentially behind a giant router, right? Because your IP that websites see you as on your phone, on your mobile connection, is shared between multiple phones. So there's an address translation layer that you won't be able to NAT punch through, most likely. And that's when you need the turn server. So then when the stun negotiation fails, it falls back to doing a stun turn, which is a server where you send a message to the turn server, and the turn server sends it down to the other one as a bounce, like a mirror. So you don't So you won't be on a peer-to-peer connection guaranteed. So there's like 3 tiers here. If you haven't home set up a castmate Docker backend thing, and you're not paying me to maintain my little backend, then you will just use the Google Stun server, which means it'll try to do the peer-to-peer connection, and if it fails, it won't have any fallback. And that might be fine for some people's use cases, right? Because if you're just deploying dashboards to your mod, and your mod's not on a mobile connection, and you're both on regular old ISP connections behind behind regular old routers, you'll probably succeed, and you won't have to pay anyone anything, and life will go on, and you'll be very happy. But if you're, wanting to do IRL shit, right, you might need things. So you could either deploy the Docker container so that you could have a stun, right, or you could pay me, and then I will have shit in the cloud. But if I kick up that cloud thing, yeah, it's cheaper for me to not deploy my own turn server to the cloud, but instead simply pay one of the existing stun turn services out there. And then I can scale up. It's easier to just pay them. It might come out in the long run where if I had like thousands and thousands and thousands of users, I would be like, oh, okay, I can deploy my own turn servers. But at the low end, it's easier to pay them. Yep. So NAT traversal is hard, and IPv6 would be great. Um, at any rate, that's not the thing to worry about right now. The thing to worry about right now is why the hell this happened. Why are these both the same time? That's not right. Starting ad scheduling. Trigger date. Oh, god damn it. I see what happened. That's in seconds. State.now is in milliseconds. Oh my god. Ugh. It hurts. Uh... Wait a second. What did I do here? Was I high? Who wrote this? Who did this?
Ready for revial?
What's up, Ascol? Sure, let's take a look. What you been cooking? Open a web browser. Ah. Ooh. Oh! Look at the animations. Oh, oh, oh. Look at stuff flying in. Hell yeah. Oh, you got the bit raindrop to work. Hell yeah. Ooh. Hell yeah. This looks awesome. Oh, 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 there's actual documentation? Oh my god. So much effort, Esco. Wow. I love the animation though, and man, I gotta watch. Wait. Oh, I won't do it again. Yeah, that's another thing I've been trying to figure out. Oh, it's so slick. So I do want to add some way for
I like
documentation to
this
be up
website redesign.
for documentation to be like community updated. I have two sort of thoughts. One, I want
Also hi.
what's up, Okie dokie? I want to build a system that pulls documentation out of the code. So like here I have the snooze ads action, and it would be like super cool to do to like, be like type stuff in here, which would then, update the documentation. So whenever this updated, it would get scraped, and then that would be what drives the docs. Because every time I change something, it's easier to update it if it's in the code than if it's like chilling out on the thing. But that wouldn't get us all the way. This is Askel's page. If I disable this, or sorry, enable the intro, and then reload. Oh. Uh-oh. Might need to make that repo public. Oh, you're good, you're good. Um... Whoa, whoa, whoa. It would be... I think I'd have to roll my own, but I might, like, look at this, because this is more for, like, devs, And I want documentation for, like, actions and triggers and some stuff. Woo! Damn. There's router. Oh, you got the markdown stuff going. Go to the Discord one. Oh, okay. What's up, MacGyver? Let's see. Go to /docs. Plugins, Discord. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Promise 0% uptime. Yeah. I had messed around with the Markdown plugin for Nuxt. I think it's... this one? Yeah. And there was sort of a little, like, meta markup that they support. But I found it frustrating to use. But this is very cool. I like making this thing move. This is fun. What kind of widget is that? Let's see. Source. Components. Hero header. Looks like he just sets the transform based on the mouse position. And then whenever there's a mouse move event on top of the card, it'll stop the rotate. Responsive is hard. Oh, 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 oh. Ew. Whee. This is very nice. I mean, the intro alone. It's so fun. Pina is excellent. Love Pina. Ugh. Why am I so sleepy? That is excellent work. Ugh. I need like caffeine or something. I'm dying over here. When this ad starts, I'm gonna go make some tea or something. Any exciting bakery experiments? Well, we made it. We made a bob-omb entremet. Oh my god. Why won't the fucking window move? There we go. All right. We made a little chocolate bob-omb.
How did the bomb taste?
Bomb tastes pretty good. He's got let me go down to the cross section.
Did it explode in your mouth?
He's chocolate and raspberry mousse in the center, a dark chocolate and cocoa butter shell, candy melt feet and topper, candy melt eye, and modeling chocolate wick. All right, I'm gonna make some tea. Be right back. Making tea.
Moose. I cannot see a moose. Moose are way too big.
Are we back from the ads? I can't believe you got all the spellcast animation. Because this took me forever. I can't believe you cloned all of that. It's crazy. It was so hard to get that animation to work. So, nice
Will this
work.
be your website?
I don't know. I like the rounded edges, though. I gotta figure out